Giving as many item specifics as you possibly can. Be 100% honest. Are there issues with this item? Are there any damages? Are there any problems? Is there anything that they should know? Don't you hate it when you go to sign into your eBay account or you get a notification and it's a message and you open it up and the person's like, I'm not happy with this item, or I need to get a return, or this item didn't fit, and you're thinking to yourself like, oh, I already imagined making this profit. I already got excited about making this profit. Now they want to return the item. So in this video, I want to give you 5 tips and 5 ways from my 7 years experience selling on eBay, how you can minimize returns on eBay and keep more of your precious profits. So what's going on, everybody? My name is Steve Raiken with the Raikenprofit YouTube channel. And this channel is all about helping people to make more money in their eBay business, in their e-commerce businesses. And I give a ton of tips about entrepreneurship. So let's dive into minimizing returns selling on eBay and what you could do. So the number one thing that you could do to minimize returns when you're selling on eBay is to make sure that you take plenty of pictures. You know, you think that most of your customers are going to read through your complete title and description and go through all your item specifics and read through your return policy, but the honest truth is most people are just purchasing based on an impulse buy. They're on eBay, or they've got 5 minutes, or they're at the bus stop, or I don't know, they're somewhere and they only have a couple minutes and they're like, bada bing, bada boom, they're just going through, this looks good and I'm gonna buy it. A picture is worth 1,000 words. That quote stands so true. And you need to make sure that your pictures are high quality, that you take multiple angles of the pictures, that you take pictures of the specifics. Maybe you're selling a clothing item, take a picture of the tag, take a picture of the embroidery. If there's, maybe, an issue or something, take a picture with like a quarter or a penny and put it next to it so people can see how big or small the damage is on that item. Take plenty of pictures. You get up to 12 pictures that you can take, so take as many pictures as you can. Make sure the lighting is high quality. You can have the best camera in the world, but if there's like a whole bunch of distractions in the background and your lighting is horrible and it's all blurry, I mean, people aren't gonna really know what they're gonna get, and then they're gonna receive it in the physical form and be pissed off and return it, and that's gonna cost you money, it's gonna cost you time, it's gonna cost you resources. If you have people working for you, you're gonna have to relist it. It's just a big waste of time. So the biggest thing you can do is take plenty of pictures. You get up to 12 pictures, take multiple angles of all different parts of the item so they see exactly what they're getting, because when you're shopping online, you have to rely on the pictures. You can't hold it like you're at a retail store and play with it and touch it and feel it and try it on, especially if you're dealing with clothing items. You have to give a lot of details to the pictures. Number 2, give specific details in the form of text. So we've already taken a bunch of pictures. Hopefully you've taken 8, 10, 12 pictures, as many as possible. Now you need to make sure to give details in the form of item specifics. So there's an item specific section that you can fill out, which isn't only great for informing your customer about like what the item is, but it's great for ranking your item, search engine optimization, indexing you within Google and the various search engines. But you need to create a great title that has all the information that they would need, the most important things. And then there's also a section where you can give like a little tiny item specific description right up top, which is actually shown on the mobile devices as well. That'll give you a chance to either sell the product in a sentence or two, or inform people that there's damage or issue, or maybe the shirt shrunk or it's discolored or there's some type of issue. This is a great place to communicate the upside or the downside to prevent the risk of getting a return. People will still buy items that are damaged, that have issues. You're just gonna have to price it right and be honest and upfront with it. So giving as many item specifics as you possibly can. Be 100% honest. Are there issues with this item? Are there any damages? Are there any problems? Is there anything that they should know, right? Maybe they're buying this Ralph Lauren Polo vintage item because maybe they believe that all the vintage items have like a patch on the sleeve. Maybe the patch has been removed. You've got to let them know. You've got to let them know any specific details in that little details section up top, but also down below in the description body where you're able to put multiple paragraphs. So be clear, be honest, be ethical, and that will definitely help to prevent returns. So we talked about photography, and then we also talked about being honest through the form of text, through your title, description, so on and so forth. Number 3, test and inspect your items. One of the number one reasons why people will return an item on eBay is because it isn't what they purchased. The item isn't as described. So if there's any issues, flaws, damages, maybe you missed it, right? That's why I'm telling you, you have to inspect it and you have to test it. If you're selling clothing, you've got to lay that clothing piece out. Look at the sleeves, look at the chest, look at the back of the shoulders, flip it inside out. If you have a sport coat, pull the arms out and look to make sure like the lining inside isn't ripped or torn, or there's not buttons missing, or maybe there's a stain underneath the collar or on the outside of the collar. Inspect, inspect, inspect. And if you're dealing with electronics or video games or board games, you've got to test, you've got to inspect, you've got to make sure all the pieces are there, because you not spending that time up front isn't going, like, you're just providing a really bad experience for the customer. They're going to return the item. There's no value in it for them. And a return isn't just bad for you in terms of like, maybe you expected to make a $20 profit, now you lose out on that $20 profit. A lot of times you're gonna have to pay for shipping, right? So now you're going into the red. You're gonna have to spend more time dealing with customer service and answering emails. And then if there's enough value in it, now you are gonna have to spend your time to relist it or have your team relist it, so on and so forth. So you wanna do whatever you can to minimize returns and refunds, and a lot of that comes down to making sure you spend that upfront time taking quality pictures and plenty of pictures, informing them through item specifics, description, title of the accuracy, and exactly what they're gonna get. And number 3, testing the items. Number 4, and I've got a little list over here if you see me referencing it, is making sure that, like, one thing that I like to do and it prevents getting returns is making sure that I'm safely packaging the item so it doesn't get damaged during shipment, shipping quickly, making sure that I keep my promise in terms of how I'm shipping. So I see a lot of people getting returns because like they promise maybe 2-day shipping. And when you buy something on eBay, so today is I think March 20th, 2020. If I go to buy something on eBay, it'll say latest shipping by March 23rd, right? Or you can pick your shipping method. People are expecting to get that item then. What a lot of sellers will do, and it's unethical, and I know they probably don't mean it, but they're just trying to save a couple bucks, is they see like maybe a shipping method that's a couple dollars less, and it might take like an extra day to get to them, but they're like, no one's gonna care. A lot of people do care. They're ordering it for a gift, a birthday, or maybe they just want it now. We're living in a world, an Amazon Prime world, where people want the items now. They want it quick. Don't lie to people. Don't promise priority and then ship it, first class. Fulfill your promise. Get it to them quick. Package your items safely. Don't take electronics and fragile items and put it in boxes without void fill and stuffing it very tight in the box. It's going to cause a lot of issues. And one thing that I've used a little strategy, a little heartfelt strategy, is putting a thank you sticker inside of the packages. So you can do a handwritten note if you're brand new and you really want to warm their heart, which can help you to get better feedback, create a better customer experience. But you go on eBay and you could type in, or even Amazon, thank you stickers, eBay thank you stickers, and you could stick it on the poly bag or stick it on the inside of the box, or put a piece of paper inside and just say thank you and then put the sticker on it. People are, less likely to initiate a refund or a return, I've noticed, when they know that they're just purchasing from like a small little seller. A lot of people think they're buying from like these huge giant corporations, and they're like, F you, and you messed up a little tiny bit of the transaction. Now I want all my money back. I'm gonna cause, chaos for you. Let them know, hey, I'm a small mom and pop shop. I appreciate your business. If you want to do a handwritten note, or you can, there's programs you could like print out little stickers on like a Dymo and, ask them for like a positive feedback, an honest feedback. You can't, like force them into a positive feedback, but ask them for an honest feedback. And I don't know, I've just noticed that that's helped to prevent, returns and refunds. And last but not least, adding a restocking fee. So if people want to return an item, and you've got to be careful, read the terms of service. You can't, charge a restocking fee like if it's your fault, I believe. But if maybe somebody wants to return an item because it doesn't fit, or they want to return an item because they didn't like it, or they just don't want it anymore and they don't have like a valid excuse, you can have in your, terms of service down below in your little terms of service area, or your policy in your description, there is a 10% or a 15% restocking fee if you're returning an item for these reasons. So that might encourage some people to lie to you, but there are good people out there, and I feel like, on the tree of life, there's always a couple bad apples, but I feel like most people are good people and they won't take advantage of you. But that could help to prevent getting returns, right? Is having that restocking fee, because a lot of people will return an item just because they don't want it anymore. Maybe they found a better deal and they're just like screwing you over, right? They're just like, screw this person, they're a big company, like this isn't a big deal. But by having a restocking fee, which is essentially a fee that you charge if they want to return the item, maybe it's 10%. So maybe you sell a $20 item and now it's an extra $2 for them to return it. Maybe they're going to be like, well, it's not worth it because I found a better deal on Amazon. And I had one more point that I was going to say. I forget what I was going to get into, but that's definitely a good tip. Having that restocking fee there. Oh yeah, I know what I was going to say. You can also put in your policy that returns that aren't, my fault as the seller, and you can have a list of like, if it's like item not described, or if the item's broken, like obviously that's my fault. But if like you want to return the item because it doesn't fit, or you don't like it anymore, or some random reason that's out of my control, they have to pay for shipping. So you can set it so the buyer pays for shipping back instead of you always, paying for the shipping and having to eat that, even though it's not your fault. So those are definitely some tips that I would practice and implement in my business. Also creating and providing really great customer service, answering questions when people respond, send you a message, respond to them quickly, answer their questions. I notice a lot of people will get returns as well because a customer will ask a question about that item, like, hey, does this measure 25 inches? Can you double check that it's 25 inches chest measurement, because I'm very picky. And then you don't respond. And then even though you had 25 inches, maybe it was really 24 and a half, and now they're pissed because they're really picky. So answering questions is really important. That'll prevent returns as well. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. There's so many opportunities out there right now to make money on eBay, from thrift stores to garage sales to auctions to liquidation to wholesale to Facebook to Craigslist. There's so much money to be made out there. So go out there, make it happen. Keep on picking and making that money, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.